build on this swatch from a separate video which shows a foundation chain and single crochet stitches, and we're going to go into half double, double, and treble crochet. This is United States terminology. To start with half double crochet, you do 2 chain stitches. And if you're new, I would suggest putting a marker into the top of your 2 chains so you can be sure to find where to go at the end of the next row. I'm going to turn the work, and as usual for the way I teach, the turning chain counts as the first stitch, so I'm going to skip this first place I could go and go into the next one. And before I go in, I'm going to do a yarn over to catch a wrap on my hook. You might want to hold on to it. Then I'm going to go into that second stitch of the row, yarn over and draw up a loop. I have 3 loops on my hook, yarn over and draw through all 3, and you might want to go slow because the middle one's just a little differently shaped than the others. Ending with 1 loop on my hook, and I have my half double crochet stitch. Yarn over into the next stitch, no more skipping. Yarn over and draw up a loop. I have 3 loops on my hook. Yarn over and draw through all 3. Now you might notice that when I'm at the point in 3 loops, my piece turns a little bit. That's because I want these 3 loops to be about the same size as each other. Sometimes people want to make them the same height as each other, and they end up with this very big loop at the end, which can look really messy in your fabric. So let the fabric be on an angle. Your hook should travel from the top of this row to the top of the next row, the bottom row. And we'll keep doing this across the row. Yarn over into my last V, which sometimes is a little messy here. Draw up my loop. There we go. And the very last stitch of the row, as usual, goes into the turning chain at the end of the row. The marker's here to help me out. So yarn over, go in, make sure I'm under 2 strands, which I am here. Yarn over, draw up a loop. Yarn over and draw through all 3. So you can see the half double crochet is taller than the single crochet that I have below. I'll do another row. Chain 2, and then I'm going to move this marker from the same side up into the top of those 2 chains to help me out at the end of the next row. Turn the piece, skip the first stitch. The second is where I'm going, but first I need that yarn over. In general, you always want to keep everything a little loose. If you need a denser fabric, you can change your hook size or maybe even change your stitch pattern. The last V is a little messy. Make sure you find it. Then here I am ready to do my half double crochet into the turning chain. The marker helps me find it, and I just make sure I've got 2 strands. So now I'm ready to move on to double crochet, which will be a little bit taller. So I need a taller turning chain. So I'm going to do 3 chain stitches for my double crochet, and then I'm going to move my marker up to the top one. So all these 3 chains are going to be the turning chain, and it counts as the first stitch of the row. So when I turn it over, I'm going to skip the first stitch, go into the second one, and double crochet starts like half double. Yarn over, go in, grab the yarn, draw up your loop. Now here's going to change. I'm going to yarn over and draw through only 2 loops. 2 loops remain. Then yarn over and draw through 2 loops again to make my stitch so it's a little taller. There's a bit more space between the columns. Again, yarn over, go into my stitch underneath that V, yarn over and draw up a loop. I have 3, yarn over and draw through 2 loops, yarn over and draw through 2 loops again. Yarn over into my stitch, yarn over and draw up a loop. I have 3, yarn over and draw through 2 loops twice. Running out of yarn here. Yarn over into my stitch, draw up my loop, yarn over and draw through 2 loops twice. Last stitch of the row goes into the turning chain. If you want to, you can take out your marker in advance. It's going to be the very next thing after where you just went. And the markers are optional, but can be really helpful when you're new. Alright, so now treble crochet or triple crochet. We start with 4 chains on our turning chain. As always, that counts as the first stitch. We'll go into the second one. I'll go ahead and put my marker up here. We yarn over twice into our stitch and draw up a loop. Then yarn over and draw through 2 loops 3 times. So once, twice, 3 times. So this is a very tall and spindly stitch. I think I have enough yarn here to do one more just as a demo. I'm working with leftover bits and pieces. Yarn over twice into my next stitch. Yarn over and draw up a loop. I have 4. Yarn over and draw through 2 loops 3 times. whenever you're done your piece, of course, you just catch the yarn and pull it through the final loop to tie it off. This is a weird place to stop, but again, I'm working with odds and ends, and I just ran short on my yarn. So here we have single crochet. I've got 3 rows, 2 rows of half double crochet, 1 row of double crochet, and then just a few stitches of the treble or triple crochet. I hope this is helpful.